The 2020 recession has been an unprecedented period of time, with the stock market dropping a significant amount from its record highs and effectively ending the 11-year bull run. And while Tesla stock has dropped 50% from its highs in February, the company is actually in a better situation than before. A massive factor that many so-called investors are not pointing out is the fact that the illness that I can't talk about here on YouTube has effectively hurt Tesla's competition more than Tesla. Ford Motors, a stock that was once trading above 10, is now worth only $4 a share. This makes the company worth $15 billion, which is less than a fifth of Tesla. General Motors, which is a company many analysts claim is one of Tesla's deadliest competitors, is now trading for just $17 a share.
I've been telling the Tesla fanatics, he's got to get his act together quick because global competition is coming.
Because the stock is down 50% for the year, the company is now valued at less than a third of Tesla. The global pandemic isn't just affecting Tesla, it's affecting the entire industry. And while traditional car manufacturers like General Motors, Ford, and Volkswagen rely solely on the car dealership to sell their cars, Tesla sells their vehicles purely online. And in the age of the current pandemic, this is a huge advantage. If someone truly wanted to purchase a car at this time, they certainly wouldn't go to a car dealership. Instead, they will be encouraged to purchase a vehicle online, and there's no other company that sells its vehicles like Tesla. Not only that, but Tesla is also a lot more prepared for the pandemic. Tesla has over $6 billion in cash and only $11 billion of long-term debt. On the other hand, Ford has $17 billion in cash, but a whopping $101 billion of long-term debt. And General Motors has it no better, with $19 billion in cash and over $65 billion of long-term debt. Tesla may have less cash flow, but the company has practically no chance of bankruptcy and has its sales decreasing far less than its competitors. This is a Porsche factory, and now this is a Tesla factory. Porsche, Tesla. Spot the difference, Porsche and Tesla. If you haven't noticed, there's a key difference between these factories. Traditional car manufacturers rely heavily on people. On the other hand, Tesla's factories are automated to the fullest extent. Sometimes this can cause trouble, but in the age of the current pandemic, this is a huge advantage. Elon Musk even created a factory that was fully automated, a factory that was codenamed Alien Dreadnought, a reference to an outer space sci-fi mothership. Not only that, but Tesla also has massive potential in its international segments, primarily China. It is common knowledge that the global outbreak has recovered extremely fast in China, with many workers already returning to work 2 to 3 months after the outbreak first appeared. China, a heavily polluted country, is set to lead the electric vehicle market in the future, and having many Tesla gigafactories open will keep Tesla's sales at a high level, despite decreased sales inside the US. While all eyes are on Tesla's US sales, China's market, which is Tesla's largest growth driver, will continue to drive Tesla's growth despite increasing cases of an illness inside the US. It's no secret that Teslas are expensive. Even Tesla's cheapest vehicle, the Model 3, will cost you at least $40,000. In the current medical situation occurring worldwide, those that are living paycheck to paycheck will lose their jobs at small businesses. Those that usually buy cheaper vehicles will lose their jobs. It's no secret. However, someone who would spend $50,000 on a Tesla vehicle is usually someone who is financially secure. As a result, many Tesla customers still have enough money to buy a Tesla. On the other hand, Tesla's competitors will be hit hard when they realize they can't sell as many mass market vehicles. That's right, I'm talking about the mass market Honda Civics, Toyota Camrys, and Toyota Priuses. There will be a lot less sales from mass market vehicles, and that's just a fact. The transition to EVs is occurring right now, and a certain illness is not going to stop it. The amount of research, improvements, and software updates is continuing to get better as time goes on. Workers that are precautionary of the illness can still work on upcoming updates to Tesla's vehicles. On the other hand, there's not much traditional car manufacturers can do to improve the internal combustion engine. The electric vehicle is improving far faster than the internal combustion engine, and the current medical situation is just going to make this more obvious. I need to emphasize the importance of that statement. Electric vehicles are improving faster than internal combustion engines. That's not just an opinion, that is a fact. Electric vehicles are starting to become more cost efficient than gas vehicles, and Americans are starting to catch on. The illness going on does not affect this. Over the long run, the maintenance costs of having an electric vehicle is far cheaper than the maintenance cost of having an internal combustion engine. The long-term outlook on Tesla still remains the same. Tesla stock's recent sell-off was based on fear and uncertainty, but it provides an incredible buying opportunity to average down, or in some cases average up. Tesla's short sellers are back, and this is a good thing. Remember when Tesla stock went as low as $180 a share and got short squeezed to $961 a share? If you were one of those investors wishing they had bought at $180 a share, this illness is providing you a second chance. As of today, Tesla's short interest has skyrocketed back to the high 20%. This is unreasonable, and once optimism returns to Tesla, these short sellers will get squeezed and we will see the same effect. Once the short squeeze happens again, there's no looking back. It will be just as fast as a previous one. As I'm recording this video here today, Tesla stock has jumped 40% in the past 3 days. Not only are the short sellers back, but the volatility is also here. A similar situation like before could easily happen to Tesla again. I'm not saying it'll happen in the next week or month, as no one has any knowledge of that, but there simply is just a possibility of the occurrence happening again. The recent drop in Tesla stock was driven by fear, panic, and uncertainty. Ask yourself, how has Tesla's long-term outlook been changed by the illness? How will the illness affect Tesla in 1 year? The recent drop in Tesla stock was not based on reason. It was based on analyst downgrades, an increased amount of short selling, along with a huge number of short-term traders selling their stock. In the meantime, Tesla has been silently ramping up their Model Y production in factory sites that are still open and starting a touchless Tesla delivery system.
Carts, this is the car.
A Tesla semi-truck has even been spotted for winter testing recently. Despite the illness, Tesla is still up and running, whereas its competitors are being forced to close down and paying their workers time off. The competitive advantage is clear here. Tesla's unconventional methods, including online sales, automating a huge portion of the assembly line, and a gigafactory built up in China, creates an uneven playing field. Imagine watching a football game and one of the teams is using a flat football. That's not fair, but that's the point. This isn't a game. Life is unfair and Tesla is taking advantage. The current 2020 recession is providing an uneven playing field for Tesla, and we need to notice this. To sum up my points, the 2020 recession is a fantastic opportunity for Tesla. Tesla can continue having sales through online deliveries. Traditional car dealers cannot. Tesla can continue to upgrade their vehicles through software updates. Traditional car manufacturers cannot. Tesla has tremendous demand in China that is starting to be met. Traditional car manufacturers don't have that demand. Tesla has a balance sheet far stronger than any of the traditional car manufacturers. We need to see the difference between the cans and cannots during a time like this, and Tesla is a company that can do more than others. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video.